We're on.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Alright, first and foremost, we'd like to say
Double
honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, push this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. He gets me Romans 12.
Come on, Romans chapter 12, verse 1. This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1. It says, I beseech you, brethren. So I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Shai, that ye present yourself. Let me read that again. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of Yahweh Shai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh Shai, which is your reasonable service.
That's right, and that's unto the very end, man.
Yeah.
Even unto death.
And like right now out here, we're presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice, man. You know, out here battling with the elements, the cold, right?
Yeah, man. You could be on YouTube, watch all these brothers out there in different states, you know, preaching the word. I remember I was thinking to myself, I saw all the different brothers in the nice Cali area, Miami area. It's nice weather out there. It's really cold over here. But I was thinking, I was like, oh, these guys are lucky, you know, it's nice weather. But I was even thinking to myself, you don't know what brother could be dealing with illness or a flu or some kind of, you know, whatever it is while he's out there preaching.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with fasting.
Yeah.
How I told you to go about your day as if it was a normal day.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly, you know, and over here we're dealing with the cold, but over there they're dealing with the heat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, so there's always a help to it, man. Yeah. You know, even sometimes here, you know, during the summertime, when it gets really hot, you wish that it was actually winter, man.
You feel it.
You know what I mean? Like, you actually feel all that heat, and you don't even want to go out.
Sleeping musty.
Yeah.
You don't even want to go out.
Yeah, so, you know, every hell, you know, everything has a help to it, man. Regardless, but at the end of the day, we're presenting our bodies a living sacrifice.
Sure.
Right? And it says, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh Shai, which is your reasonable service. Now, when it says acceptable, you know, doesn't the scripture says, you know, that the Lord is going to refine us, you know, through that fire, and acceptable men in the face of adversity, right? So that's how you become acceptable unto Yahweh Shai, by presenting your body for the sacrifice, by going through that hell and battling with those elements, right?
That's right. What did Yahweh Shai do? Yahweh Shai's whole life when he was here was him lifting his body up as a living sacrifice to the Most High. Because everything he did was according to the will and the agenda of the Most High.
Yeah.
Even at one point he was so blunt to say that who's my mother and who's my father or my brother. But they that do the work of my Father which is in heaven. Roughly paraphrasing. So he's the ultimate example right there.
There's a scripture I was talking about.
You know what, but you know, in this kingdom, what you do, following after the example of Yahweh Shai, is looked upon as weird and is hated upon even by the people that claim to be his people, that claim to be his followers, his disciples, his servants, that claim to be the Most High, the Son's servants. They see what you do, and they scoff at us and they hate what we do because they lack the true understanding of the scriptures. When they read scriptures like giving up your body like a living sacrifice, you know what kind of stuff these Christians will do to compensate for that? They'll go on a fast from TV or some stupid shit like that. You know what I mean?
They'll have a Lent.
Yeah, Lent. They just had that a couple years exactly. Lent. That's stupid ass thing when they put ashes on top of your head and you're supposed to fast from something.
Yeah, and then they don't eat chocolate.
Come on, man. That's some stupid ass shit. A real fast is not eating or drinking any water, man.
Yeah.
That's also you become really spiritual when you give yourself up as a living sacrifice.
That's right. And it says, and be not conformed to this world.
That's right. That's right. You know, you got a whole bunch of athletes who are like, I like sneakers. You know, I'm a sneakerhead. I like shoes and stuff like that. But you got a bunch of all that stuff in this kingdom holds value and weight as to what's it called? As to the anarchy, as who's on top and who's on the bottom. You know, if you don't have the nicest J's out right away, I mean, you're a low life. Ain't nobody really trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
Apostle Rama. What did you just read again? It's like I need to.
Yeah. It says, and be not conformed to this world.
Right. Apostle Ramla said he just did a video that stated titled "Women Run to Power," and that's exactly that's plain and simple to the truth, because in this kingdom we have no power.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna have the nicest woman or the baddest woman in this kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it really is true. If you're not, what's power in this kingdom? A good credit, a well job, good paying job.
Good house.
You know, a house.
Or you know, actually owning your own.
Oh, yeah, or having your own house, or being your own boss.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Nice clothing. Those are what women run to, which all come from money. So if you don't got that, you know, the women ain't coming to you.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the Most High chose the poor to do this work, man. Because it's easier for us to not conform to the world, because we're already exiled anyway, in a sense, you know?
Yeah. You got women who will be with the man regardless of what, or you know, anything, or like what they believe in or whatever. As
What
long,
they look like.
Yeah, or what it doesn't matter to them as long as they can provide and have that money for them.
Yeah.
You know, then they're willing to have children with that man or whatever it is, man.
Yeah.
You know, they're willing to, you know, give it all up, man.
Yeah.
You know, they're willing to give the box right
Yeah.
away, man. You know, to a man who, you know, is of this world, that is rich of this world.
Yeah,
You know,
God.
but a man of the Lord who, you know, might not have, you know, everything,
Yeah.
right? But you know, the Lord is keeping him alive. You know, and a man of the Lord, you know, who is going through hell, you know, they'll, you know, think twice about that, man.
Yeah, the man of the
Not
Lord.
thinking spiritually
God.
ahead of time, man.
You know, and that's the value. That's the mindset. That's the mindset standard. That okay, you know what? He can be. It should be he can be poor as long as he's the man of the Lord. I don't care. But at the end of the day, is actually he can do whatever he wants. If he doesn't have money, I'm not dealing with him. You know what I mean? And that's why, like the brother said, these women are ready to give it up right away, because they see that this man can sustain them and the family that they look to build with the money that he has. But that's conforming to the world. What happens? Let me see you women, you know, be proud like you are, or you men, also you men, be proud like you are, without any of that money that you hold so close and dear to yourself. Like, we get money too, but it's just defense, man. We have money just to get our daily bread. Yeah, people like Flocky. I was watching shoe shopping with 50 Cent, and even 50 Cent, as much of a 2/3 nigga he is, he's like, I would never buy a pair of shoes worth $5 grand. You know what I can do with that? He said I can buy two decent sized cars with that money.
Yeah, you got people who will buy $1 million watch.
Like a fucking watch.
Like Floyd Mayweather. Like, the fuck? You can buy an iPhone for $200.
But you know what though? Yeah,
And still have the same time.
Yeah, cut. Yeah, still have the same
Fuck,
time. Yeah,
man.
cut. Don't kill me. But I will say this: all those lavish things that these men are living in right now, because they really are living in their heaven. We are to live that too.
In the kingdom, in righteousness.
In righteousness, that's right.
Something that we can actually possess forever.
That's right.
Nothing, you know, that is corrupt, where, you know, rust and moth do with corrupt, you know.
That's right.
Because all of these things, man, it can come and go, but in the kingdom, it'll be there for us
It will come and go.
forever, right?
Yeah, they have it now. It will go soon.
That's right, man. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 35, verse 13. He will not accept any person against a poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed.
Yeah, God, makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing. That's the same thing as when we say, "How does it make sense for the Most High to come save someone who's already rich?" Right? Of course, He's going to hear the prayer of a man that's poor compared to a man that's rich. Because most likely 9 out of 10, the one that's rich is praying for things that are of the world.
That's right,
You know, don't get me wrong. You do have some. You have some rich people in the scriptures who were humble and good men.
Yeah.
But that's what
there
they
was-
were.
yeah.
You know, they were men of the Lord.
Yeah.
The ratio in this kingdom for a rich man to pray humbly than a poor man is very low.
That's right, Verse 14. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless, nor the widow when she poureth out her complaint. You know, and we're doing the same thing, man. We're complaining unto the Lord every day, man. When are you gonna come back, man? You know, look at what Esau's doing, man. You know, the scripture says, you know, pretty much, you know, to bug the Lord, man. You know, give him no rest.
Yeah, come.
You know?
Give him no rest. Give his ear no rest.
Khan, do not the tears run down the widow's cheeks, and is not her cry against him that causeth them to fall? He that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds.
That's right.
You know? Verse 17, the prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds, until it cometh nigh.
Yeah.
So the prayer of the humble, they're gonna keep praying for whatever it is that they want from the Lord, man. You know?
Like the rulership of this kingdom.
Yeah. If it be the Lord's will,
Khan.
right?
Khan, yeah, that's it.
Because the Lord's gonna give it to you if it's of His will.
Yeah, if you just so
If
happen
He
to
spoke of
pray.
it
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
scriptures,
exactly. If you
right?
just so happen to pray alongside the same thing he was trying to do.
Yeah, He'll just do it.
You know?
You know, the Lord obviously gonna do it on His talent, but He's gonna give you the spirit to endure.
Yeah.
You know,
To
just
wait upon it.
exactly, man, exactly. And it says, He will not. Let me read that again. The prayer of the humble pierceth the cloud, until it come nigh, he will not be comforted,
That's right.
and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment.
Right, so is that not, can you get, I don't know if you can find it off deck, but where it says that I've set watchmen who should never hold your peace.
Peace day
Actually, you
nor
don't
night.
have to get that, actually.
Okay,
It's not
cool.
paraphrase that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing, man. You know, the poor that are here, the humbled, which is the elect, really, they're not gonna. They're also the watchmen that Yahweh speaks about in Isaiah, or that Isaiah speaks about. You know that will be here day or night and not rest, because all this abomination, all this filthiness that's happening, man, it's annoying, for lack of a better term, and onto the Most High and the Son. It's very grieving onto us too.
We're here, man.
Yeah, you know, we're here living in it, and on top of that, we're in the same. We're as good as it gets to be in the same mindset towards the Most High and the Son.
And the worst part is knowing what it's supposed to be like. If we didn't know, we wouldn't care. That's why,
it'd be harder to be upset.
Exactly,
when you can't
because you can't see it.
Yeah.
These people are comfortable and they don't actually think of the kingdom and how that this is hell. Is because they actually think that this is it, and this is pretty much in the middle line. Whereas if you are bad, you'll go through hell, like as if there's something that's worse than this.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
con.
It's like they don't actually think that this is worse, man.
Yeah.
You know? But we understand what the kingdom is supposed to be like, who's supposed to rule, what is supposed to be in place and set in order. We know that, and that's why it says with much wisdom it's much grief. If we didn't know that, man, we would just be living it up, you know, just like how these people are today.
That's right. Simple.
You know? That's the part that hurts, man.
Yeah.
Come on. You know?
That's what will make you pray every day, man.
Yeah.
Because like you want to get up out of here.
Come on. That's right, bro.
Years go by and like hey, we're young. We've only been in this thing for 4 years.
Yeah.
Coming up with the 5, but I can imagine other brothers in the apostles.
Yeah.
They've
30
been
years.
Right. They've been wanting this place to go down.
Since 2000, man.
Yeah, since the 2000 incident. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you know the hunger's there, man.
18 years later.
Shit, right? That's crazy, man. The Most High gotta come soon, man.
Yeah.
Shit has to pop off soon because this can't be forever.
You can't.
This can't be forever. Man.
Yeah, I can't, you know, and if I'm ahead, and that's the one part that actually, you know, brings peace, you know, in the mind, is understanding that this is not going to be it, man. Like, this is not going to last forever. If we had no hope, man, it'd just be easy, you know, to take yourself out, man. Honestly.
Real shit.
But because we understand that this is not going to be forever, we're enduring, man. You know, that's what's keeping us go, you know, on a daily basis. That's that drive.
It's that knowing that it's not going to last forever. And
Yeah.
knowing that it's not going to last, also knowing that it's not going to last a long time. Right?
That's right, because the chip is already here.
Yeah, because if Paulson started talking about this happening 35 years from now, hey, a lot of brothers would fall out. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
You know, and Lord willing, we wouldn't either.
It's all through the Spirit. Yeah, about
Right.
You know, they elect no matter what. Even if the Lord's gonna, you know, which is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But even if the Lord's gonna come back, you know, 200 years from now,
Yeah.
the elect are still gonna be doing the same
They
thing.
were doing it before this
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You know, going back to the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
That's right, man. Which means, in simple terms, all right, or simpler terms, you become more spiritual. Your mind, when you come into this truth and you don't conform to this world, you actually become more spiritual, which is a beautiful thing, man. That's life in itself.
Yeah.
You really become alive. So go ahead.
Yeah, you know, like just like I wanted to add to that, you know, like the scripture talks about, you know, putting up the old man.
Yeah,
right?
putting
Like
up
when you put up the old man and you become reborn,
That's
right? You actually, what does it say? It said, and be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
That's right. That's right, man. Which comes through the scriptures, man, the truth.
Yeah.
Therefore, like your mind might be transformed by the wickedness or the false or the lies of your pastor. You know? In this kingdom, stupid.
Those are Gada women.
Yeah, I know. That's why it even grieves you even more. You're like, oh, if there's an Edomite and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm like 12 years old, smoking, teeth all fucked up.
That's Jake, man. And Esau loves seeing this shit.
Yeah.
Esau loves the sight of this shit because this is how he knows he's winning.
I remember.
Right? Because you see, the people of the Lord are supposed to be upholding righteousness to the rest of the nations on this planet, but we're upholding even more wickedness in the wickedness.
Yeah, this is Esau's complaint to the Most High on why he should rule even longer.
Exactly.
He's like, look at your people.
Yeah.
You know, Esau literally talks to Satan, right? You know, to get to the Lord, you know, and tell him, yo, your people are sitting there eating pork, while he's the one who's actually, you know, systematically destroying our people. You know?
That's right.
That's crazy, man. And it says that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Right.
For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you.
And what's the grace? Really, the grace is a chance to get the truth. Because the scriptures say that many are called, but few are chosen. So guess what? Technically, everybody on this planet has been given grace to some extent or the other.
Yeah, by watching the videos.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people who watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Watching videos, coming down here, looking at seeing us, seeing signs.
Yeah.
You know? So this is the grace. And guess what? If the Most High didn't give you this truth, it's not really showing you any grace.
Yeah.
Because, man, for the destruction that's about to come, for the destruction that's about to come, this is essential. This is essential.
Yeah.
Without this, you won't get nowhere. You're gonna be destroyed alongside with everybody else.
You know, and even when the Most High shows you grace and you come into the truth, you know, you going through hell, you know, it's a good thing, man. Because if you are in the truth and you're not going through hell, then the Lord doesn't love you, man. You know, it's the same way, like, when you got a coach and he's always getting, you know, at a player, it's because he knows the potential of that player and he wants him to get better. If he doesn't talk to, you know, or like, you know, let's say, you know, once, you know, he was always talking, you know, like, you know, and getting, you know, on that player, you know, and telling him, yo, you know, pick up your shit, man. You know, like, you can do better and this and that. And then one day, you know, if he just stopped talking, you know, like, you know, I'm going to that player, that means that he doesn't care no more. He gave up on it, right? That's the same thing as when you come to the truth and you're going through hell, you know, constantly, you know, obviously not, you know, on an every single day basis, but, you know, in and out, because the Lord knows how to keep you going, right? If you're going through hell, that's a good thing. If you are in this truth and you're living it up and you are not experiencing any type of hell, you better be afraid, man, even if you're in the truth. You know, be like, yo, am I even in the truth? Because, yo, I'm living it up, I'm feeling nice, I don't want the kingdom to come yet, because I'm feeling good, you know what I mean?
Your mindset changes. You're very right at it.
You know?
Very right. Your mindset changes.
It's
a whole, a bunch of steps that happens, you know? your
Yeah.
mindset changes.
Yeah, that's like
That's
different
it.
stages, man. Whereas like first you angry and pissed off, and then you kind of chill a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. And if you're not, keeping, that your eye single towards the side, you're gonna get comfortable, and you might want to go back to the world.
Hey man, that's why some of you guys who came to this truth and then fell out, then something crazy happened. Well, guess what? That was from the Lord, man.
Yeah.
That was to wake you up. That was to keep your eyes single to the Lord, like your brother just said. I mean, like I hear stories about brothers who fall out and then they saw their cousin get shot in the head right in front of them. Like what the fuck would that do that to you?
Yeah.
I mean, if I fell to, I don't feel lower than I don't, but if I fell out to truth and I saw one of my siblings get shot in the head, that shit will fuck with me, man.
Yeah.
And I would know it's from the Lord,
Yeah.
too.
It's automatic.
Automatically, it's an instinct.
Like a
It's like
instinct,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that brother knew.
Yeah.
He knew. Was actually, there was one that Apostle Bahar was talking about with a man. He used to talk shit about King David.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he used to talk shit about King David or Elder Yaakov because he was old. So when you get old, you start to bug out a bit and do weird things. So whatever. And Apostle Gabar was like, why did that bother you? He's old.
Just leave him.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
So this man left. He said, I'm not coming to school no more. And his son fell down stairs and got ran over by a bus.
By a bus or something.
Yeah. Eight-wheeler. The guy came back calling, can you pray for me? Pray for me. Like, and the apostle Dahar said, like, I was looking at the brothers like, we knew. It's the Most High.
Yeah.
That's the Most High. The Most High is. Like, I don't know, man. I can't further explain how frightening it is to play with a man that can do anything to you. Like, I mean, he controls you at that.
Yeah. Man, like, I don't know what the hell I thought, but, earlier today, I was listening to a video, on this, freaking, about Baptist, pretty much talking, about his experience of, how, he saw hell, and this and that, right? Not knowing that the Most High controls everything. And he made a statement.
The Most High should give him vision.
And, the guy made a statement that, that kind of cheesed me, man. I got mad.
Right.
He was pretty much saying, like, if you're not good, the Most High wants you to be in heaven with him, but he has no choice. When he said the Most High has no choice, I was like, what the fuck are you saying, man?
Speaking against the Most High's power.
Are you actually saying that the Most High has no... you can be the wickedest person. If the Most High wants you to be with him, he'll take you.
Yeah.
You cannot say the Most High has no choice, man. That's these fucking people not understanding that the Most High is in control of everything, just like the brother is saying. You cannot play with a power, that can do anything, man.
Yeah.
He can do anything. But, like, that shit cheesed me, man. I was like, what the fuck is this guy saying, man? Stop lying, man.
I got a quick precept for you.
Yeah.
Because you're right. The Most High, you said a key point. The Most High can use the Most High can use anybody, whether they're wicked or not.
It doesn't matter, man.
Come on.
You cannot say the Most High has no choice.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. This is Numbers chapter 24, verse 15.
Come on.
It says, and he took up this parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, hath said, and the man whose eyes are open has said, he has said, which heard the words of Yahweh, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. I thought, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Seth. Now that's it on that, but my point was that this guy was a Moabite that bring that vision out. That was a Moabite who bring out that vision. So Most High used the Moabite to bring out the vision for Israel. He actually essentially used the Moabite as a prophet. So the Most High, it don't matter. Like, and that's the thing. You Christians is that in one or two things, or maybe even both in some cases. You either ignorant, you just that stupid. Like you actually just don't know that the Most High can control anything, it does everything, or you're proud. You know, you're one of, most likely if you're one of those rich pastors, you're proud.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing it for money's sake. I've been making money off of my word.
Yeah.
Not the Most High's word.
Yeah.
I was the one who was going out there and trying to bring people into the church. You know, standing up there, speaking, screaming, doing all that.
Numbers.
Yeah.
That's all they're looking for is
Yep.
numbers.
Yep.
They don't care, you know.
About actually waking up the elect.
Yeah.
They don't care about actually getting up out of here. Again, you ask most of these Christians, what's the point in waking up the elect? They won't tell you anything.
Yeah.
They'll look at you like quiet.
They'll even say, what? Like, what do you mean elect?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
the elect. Yeah,
they don't even use
everybody's
that
being
term.
saved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even use that term.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. They wouldn't even know that term.
Con. I got a scripture. It's the book of Romans chapter 9, verse 18. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy,
That's right.
and whom he will hardeneth. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth yet Salakia? Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he find fault? For who hath resisted his will?
That's right.
Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh Bashem El Shai? Shall the thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endureth with much long suffering the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction? So pretty much saying, man, the Most High is the one that created us, man. You, as a human being, cannot say to him that made you, which is the Most High, why hast thou created me thus? As in pretty much saying, you know, you can't talk against the Lord, man. You know, just like how when you got a child, you know, and you just start talking back to you, even though, you know, if you're wrong or whatever, right? Your child is not empowered to talk shit back to you because you're the one who actually, you know, give him food, you know, you give him life, you know, you house him, right? You're the one who did that, so they are in no position to talk shit back to you, man. That's the same thing with the Most High. Most High created us. You can't say the Most High has no choice.
Yeah.
Like, why are you talking for him?
Yeah.
He's the one that created everything. How does he not have any choice? You know what I mean? You know, I fucking hate Christians and bad. You know, like the shit that they say don't make sense, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's what they call it, hypocrisy.
Yeah, man.
Bunch of hypocrites.
Come on. And then going back here, the book of Romans chapter 12, right?
Yeah,
verse 3.
Yeah, okay, you read
Good.
like 4.
Come on. It says, for I say, through the grace given unto me to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith.
That's right.
For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office.
Oh yeah, that's where that scripture is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You're looking for
Get
it.
it out.
Kind.
Yeah, kind. I didn't have much to say on that actually.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Romans 8 and 20.
Okay, come let me get that for you. The book of Romans chapter 8 verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Yo, that's a beautiful. You learned that again. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, saying, you have no free will. Literally, man. You know, you're made to go off. Was that something that we wanted?
Yeah, kind.
Man.
kind.
But the Lord did it anyways.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, one of the whole chapter of Romans 7.
Yeah.
One before this, Paul talks about
your
all
spirit
that.
and your flesh.
Yeah, he's like,
right?
I don't want to be wicked.
Yeah.
I want to be righteous.
God.
And we have no choice.
God.
I'm a prisoner.
Yeah,
I'm a
you,
prisoner of Yahweh Shai.
you have no control, but people like to think Satan, you know, is fighting against the Most High. Satan's the one, you know, that's doing this and
Like
that.
he actually dropped from
Yeah,
heaven
yeah.
and got 2/3 of the
And
angels.
took
with him.
and took angels. 2/3.
That's what they use 2/3. What you're talking about? Which really he did, but not in that way. You know what I mean? Satan really does have 2/3 of our people following him.
Yeah.
Like you see how sly he
Yeah.
is?
You know, it's just like not having it, on that right path, like
Yeah.
not the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
The right amount of terminology
Huh.
on the wrong path.
It's like, man, like these people, man, like it don't make sense, man. You're pretty much saying that the Most High, when it comes to Satan, whom the Most High created,
Yeah.
he can't control it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
when he
like,
calls upon him, Satan's gonna come answer him.
yeah.
Like,
Man, I don't understand these people, man.
come on, man. You can't fight the truth, man. You
Yeah.
can't fight the truth. We all talk about free will, we got none of it.
Yeah,
None of it. No
yeah.
such thing.
These people are willing to give Satan, a lot of power, and fear, but not fear the Most High.
Right.
It's like, there's something, that I heard in the world about how people, they were asked, how powerful do you think Satan is? Compared to the Most High, and the Most High is at 10, and people were giving Satan a number, I think, he's like 7 or 8 or whatever, and then like in the one guy said, like, actually Satan has no power over the Most High.
Yeah, what he said?
He said, like this is something, like that I heard, but I can't, I'm a quote like where it came from.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's true, man.
Yeah.
Satan actually has no power over the Most High. It's just what the credit that people give Satan.
Yes.
It's the credit that people give him,
Right.
but he actually has no control or power over the Most High.
Right.
He works for it. He loves the Lord, man.
That's right,
He
that's
does what the Lord wants.
That's right.
He
That's right.
is actually more in order than you fucking 2/3,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly.
You know
He's
what I
doing
mean?
his job to
He's
a
doing his
T.
will, man.
Yeah. Just a quick thing off what
Yeah,
you said too,
yeah.
because Satan is only deemed stronger than the Most High according to the credit that people give him in
Yeah.
his kingdom,
Yeah.
which the credit is according to the information that's given to them.
Yeah, which is
So
false.
the false information
Yeah.
that's given to people that the Most High is,
Yeah.
is in fighting or is in war with Satan is what gives the illusion that Satan is powerful than the Most High,
Come on.
which is off.
Satan is one of the Lord's children, man.
That's right.
On the
Left-hand
on the
side.
left-hand side.
That's right.
Like it says in the book of Job, chapter 2, that one day, the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them.
Yeah.
What was Satan doing there
Yeah.
if he wasn't the son of God too?
Sons
Really?
of God.
Yeah, exactly, man. Come on. But anyways, man, that's a different topic. Good. Yeah. And then it says right here, verse 21 of Romans 8, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now.
And really, the whole creation, man.
Yeah.
I mean, these animals
Yeah.
have been mourning.
The earth itself is a spirit, and the earth is mourning.
Exactly. That's why you got freaking. I couldn't believe it when I heard this, but I heard it a while back or saw a video. But I was watching the news, and you got whales that will.
Beaching themselves, right?
Yeah, beaching themselves.
Yeah,
Come
they're
on.
literally taking themselves out.
Literally, yeah, they're committing suicide
Yeah.
because of how filthy. It only makes you think what has to be in that
In
water.
the water, con.
You know how filthy is that water?
Yeah.
It's like, man, that's like literally having a home,
Yeah.
and because the home is so dirty, you live outside. You end
Yeah.
up dying in your sleep.
Yeah, you're like, I would rather kill myself than be in that place.
You know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How filthy this earth is, man.
Yeah.
This earth has been mourning.
Under the rulership of Esau.
That's right. And we're here mourning, not to mention the righteous are mourning.
Yeah.
You know, even other nations are mourning, man.
Yeah,
Why do you think they want to take down America?
Con. It says that in our kingdom, the trees are going to rejoice, man.
Come on.
Because everything is going to have its full life back, man.
Yeah.
Everything is pretty much, pressed down,
Suppressed.
halfway, right, suppressed, not in its full strength. Because Esau literally just destroys everything, man.
No balance whatsoever to you damn devils,
Yeah.
man.
It gives no rest.
You
It gives no
this-
rest.
You do wickedness until you're blue in the face, until you're dead.
Yeah.
And which is how you're built to do, really. But that's gonna be that's gonna be your downfall as well.
Con.
What you were set up to, what your blessing will be your downfall.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. Hey, the scripture, Yahweh said, "He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword."
How much I said the same thing a long time ago.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Shit.
Yeah, that's a word for word that
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
said,
yeah,
man.
that's beautiful.
Your blessing will be your curse, man.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
That's right. That's right.
Good. And then it says, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruit of the Spirit, even we ourselves grown within ourselves, waiting for the
have the-
adoption.
We have the first fruit of the Spirit.
Con.
Man, you know, what was I gonna say? Basically, like, remember the one video you showed that one brother was talking about that? First, he's like, the first fruit of the Spirit, we're like, almost like the bigger brothers to the rest of the worlds, because we were, Lord willing, we're of the elect. We were building the earth and all the different worlds and stuff like that.
Like having different governments.
Yeah, we were the first
structure.
fruits. Yeah, come on, Lord willing,
Exactly.
we're of the elect. Yeah, of the elect.
Like we were the ones, who were pretty much, put in order, of things that are to come, before the foundation of the world. The elect, the ones that created the earth, the animals, right? Those are the first fruits, man.
That's right.
Hence why, we mourn, like when we see, like the animals getting put to death for no reason, and this and that, because we're the ones who actually created it, man. We're the ones who actually love them, man.
Man, I seen the fucking Moabite. I showed you this.
Yeah.
Moabite's tossing the dog into the thing, and that shit's crazy, man.
Yeah. You know why? It's because they don't care, because they didn't do it. It's kind of like when you
They actually really don't. Yeah, that has to be it.
It's kind of like when you get a job, right? And you've been there for, like a certain amount of years or whatever, right? It's like you have your own home, so like if you, are a clean people or whatever, right? Like you take care of your things, right? When you're at a different area or like at a different environment, you don't really care for it because it's not yours.
Preaching the truth according to the Bible. Oh yeah. Yeah. Are you a Christian? Yeah. So, if I may ask you, what do you think on slavery? Like, that's very in the new kingdom, though. Do you think there will be slavery? You know how Jesus talks about the kingdom of heaven? Yeah. Will there be slavery in the kingdom of heaven? Do you think? According to the Bible, there will be.
I got a scripture.
Yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter.
So what can you do about that?
Well, we'll read it to you.
The book of Revelation. Oh, so like 13, right?
Yeah. 13,
okay. I got the one that says, you should rule them with the rod of iron.
Oh, yeah, get 13 first.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
That's right.
He that leadeth into
14.
Con.
Isaiah chapter 14.
Okay, Con. Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Right.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So captivity, another word for slavery.
Yeah.
Now, Jesus says, he that leaves captivity shall go into captivity. So now, when you think about that upon itself, Caucasian, so-called white people, you guys led so-called Negroes and Latinos and North Americans into captivity, correct? Your ancestors. Now, according to the Bible, Jesus said that that's going to happen again. So what goes around comes around. But that hasn't happened yet, right? You guys are all not in captivity, right? So your question got to be, well, when is this going to happen? Now, when you read, you can finish that, actually.
Yeah. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
That's right.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Now get Isaiah 14 real quick, because basically Jesus Christ is saying whatever goes around comes around. So now we're going to read to you. He's going to read to you.
You reap what you sow.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, reap what you sow. That in the kingdom coming up, that the Israelites, because according to the Bible, the Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians are the Israelites today. Yeah. So the people that you guys ended up taking into slavery back in a couple years ago, a couple hundred years ago, you took the Israelites into slavery. So the blessings of the Israelites is to have the other nations, number one being the Edomites, go into slavery under them.
It takes me a while to get this through my head.
Yeah. Hey, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers.
Right, because some people will say, well, you know what? I didn't do that to you. It was my ancestors. But if you look at the mindset of the Lord, he said, prepare slaughter for the iniquity, the wrongdoing of their fathers, so of your forefathers.
For the children.
So the Most High is saying, listen, because your forefather did it, I'm going to punish you for it. Now, that seems unjust, right?
Yeah, it does.
But there's a thing in the Bible called reincarnation.
You come
Yeah,
back.
I know that.
You come back.
Oh, so you know about reincarnation?
Well,
Oh, but you
don't
know
know
about it, but
everything
you don't know
about
about
Like,
the Bible.
yeah, like according to the Bible, the reincarnation that's spoken of in the Bible is not what like the
East Indians.
the East Indians believe. Like, you don't come back as an ant or whatever. You come back as a human being. You know, if you were a man in your past life, you come back as a man. If you were a woman, you come back as a woman. Scriptures talk about not all flesh is the same flesh, right? So you are your forefathers, pretty much. You know, you came back.
I realize that.
And in this life, hence why there's a term called deja vu, which means already seen. You know, sometimes sometimes you'll have flashbacks of things that it's like, I've experienced this before.
Sure.
That's because you've actually experienced it in your past life. You know
What
what I mean?
country are you guys from?
We're actually the Hebrew Israelites. You know, according to the Bible, that's our nationality. You know,
Whereabouts in Africa is that?
we're not from Africa. We're from Israel.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, Israelites. Because these
That's why
guys,
the 12 tribes.
right, these guys are confused to be Africans and all sorts of stuff, but they're not.
Yeah.
Your ethnicity is a bloodline.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to read, did you read 14?
Yeah.
So have you-
Oh, the one I'm a first verse, right?
Yeah.
Isaiah 14 verse 1.
Yeah,
For
say-
man. Isaiah 14 verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob
Which is another word for Israel.
and will yet choose Israel
Yeah.
and set them in their own land.
Now that's a part of a blessing, the land which is supposed to be Israel. Now, we'll set them in their own land. Now, those people in Israel right now, the Israelis, they're in their own land, right? And they claim to be the Israelites, those Jewish people and all those guys. Right?
So you're better off coming to Regina than you were there?
What do you mean?
In Israel?
Yeah.
We weren't born there.
No,
Yeah.
like we weren't born there. Like
But the
our
blood-
bloodline goes back to
Blood
Israel.
line,
But we're better off having this kingdom, this society destroyed. Really want to be. If you want us to be frank,
Because it's wicked.
because complete wicked society needs to be redone.
Everything
is
is
upside down.
They're right.
You know.
That's right.
I agree with you.
And it said, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
That's right.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place,
Yeah.
and the house of Israel
Right.
shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives,
Yeah.
whose captives they were,
Now,
and they shall rule over their oppressors.
now remember the verse before we read about what goes around comes around, and how your ancestors did this to us. So we're gonna do it to you. Now in the new kingdom, that's where it's gonna happen. Like the brother wrote, slavery is gonna happen. We're gonna have your men and women that are Edomites in our as our servants. You know.
So what you're saying is it's going to go back to where it was.
No, but in righteousness.
And,
Yeah, in righteousness. Yeah, because you can get two of the same things on different sides of the table.
Yeah.
It really will go back to the way it was in righteousness. Because even when we rule, we're going to rule over the other nations, which are different signs.
Yeah.
So all the other nations and Edomites, we're going to rule over them, but we're going to rule them with righteousness. They're going to have their lands back. They're going to have certain other stuff back. But like right now, the wicked people that are ruling, well, guess what? Our air is polluted, our water's polluted, our food's polluted.
There's a lot of
You know,
homosexuality going
Yeah,
on,
there's a lot of nonsense going around. That's not going to happen. We're still going to be in rulership.
but we're going to get rid of all of that.
Is that going to get rid of all of that?
That's right.
You
Well,
know,
I'm going
that's
to try to get this through my head.
hey, for sure, man. All
Yeah,
right,
take care.
Yeah, take care of yourself, man.
Yeah. Keep it up.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come across the sometimes you come across the one in a blue moon calm Edomite, you know.
Yeah.
Just living his life, you know, just trying to get by.
Yo, he don't care. He's just
He
like,
doesn't care. He's just
well,
living,
he's
man.
gonna die anyways.
He's
He's
just
old as hell. But hey,
It's the extra in the movie.
we
really.
told him his judgment, you know. And if he's a Jake, you know, if he accepted it, you know, if he agreed with the word, and if he's an Israelite, then you know, then he might be saved, man. You know.
And you know, like, I know people will see this. You Christians, you
I'm like,
so
dude,
emotional. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
he's
I
a
was
spirit.
just
I'm
gonna
a spirit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
These Christians will see someone like this and be like, listen, you guys are rude. He understood you, he listened to you, and you're still telling us that he's gonna be destroyed and put in the slave. Listen, first of all, it's not us, it's the scriptures. Second of all, this guy is just, you guys don't get upset when an extra, when you watch those movies,
Yeah, and an
a
extra
bomb
walks by.
and a bomb goes off and the extra goes flying. No one's like, oh my god, look at James. He's flying across the screen. No,
Yeah.
you don't give a shit about an extra.
Yeah.
Well, that's what some of these people are in these, that's what they are, man, just
That's so
extras.
true, yeah. You know, or like when you're watching a movie, you know, and a
Yeah.
guy, you know, is entering like a coffee shop,
Yeah.
and then there's people sitting down, you know, and like let's say something like like you say, you know,
Yeah.
like a bomb goes off,
Yeah.
you know, and the main character who you're watching escapes.
Yeah.
You're not like, oh, I feel so bad for that.
Yeah, for that one extra that had red hair.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. You know, your eyes is focused on the main
Yeah.
character, and you got that he or she is not dead. You know what I mean? That's
Yo.
it, man.
Beautiful point. And who are the main characters? All right, they're the elect, the elect of Israel. That's all we care about. That's why if we don't see or understand that you're a main character,
Yeah.
you can be a main character in this show. We ain't dealing with you. That's beautiful. I'm not even worry about the main character.
That's right, man. And I got a scripture here, you know, just to show right here, the book of Revelation chapter 2, verse 25. But that which you have already hold fast till I come.
That's right.
This is from the words of Yahushua. It's in red. Okay?
Come.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
See?
Right? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father.
That's right.
You know? So this is something that's going to happen in the kingdom, man. If you hold fast that which you have Hashem gave you, which is the truth, the Lord's going to put you, you know, a ruler over the nations. Who are the nations? It's always talking about people.
Yeah.
So you're going to rule over people in the kingdom of heaven.
Hey man, at least this guy, if he didn't know, he said it.
Yeah.
These Christians, you ask them, is there going to be
Proud.
slavery? They're going to be like, no, there's going to be no slavery.
Yeah.
Of course there's going to be
I
slavery.
guess I hope not.
Yeah. Which is fair. I wouldn't want there to be slavery if I was the Edomites.
Yeah. Yo, it's a bad time to be an Edomite, man. You know, one time everybody wanted to be white. Why? Because of everything that they were, the blessings, you know, that we saw. They were getting.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
The blessings we saw that they
Yeah.
were getting, we want that too.
But now the curses are slowly, you know,
Being lifted.
off of Jacob and going into the Edomites.
That's right.
You know, and you can see it, man. You got Edomites, you know, after that movie, you know, I'm a Black Panther, right? You got a lot of people, a lot of Edomites who were pretty much making like a complaint, saying that, you know, I'm a black people are, you know, I'm a pretty much told me that, like, you know, I can't watch the movie, you know.
Oh,
and
I
they
seen
were,
that.
yeah, you know,
Yeah,
and
it's like
you know,
two mothers, two women,
yeah,
two women
you know,
Edomites.
and you know, I'm a pretty much saying, you know, they're being rude in the theater to me and this and that.
Yeah, it's too.
like, God damn,
Yeah, this-
Esau,
yeah, like,
are you
man.
serious? You know, when, you know, when, like, you know,
Jake
all
can't
of
have
these-
nothing.
Jake, exactly. They don't want us to have nothing, man. No hope, nothing.
No
Shit
black
all.
stars, no
Come on.
black movies.
Exactly. You know, but when, you know, they had, you know, I'm a Superman, you know, I'm a, like in a white picture,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
were the stories of, you know, I'm a so-called, you know, I'm a
Negroes
Negro,
being
you know,
upset.
complaining.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
but all of a
cause-
sudden, you know, Black Panther comes out, all of a sudden you got a lot of these white people saying, no, you know, this is not for me. You know, I don't even like it.
That's so.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy in itself that you said that.
That's
man.
unreal, man. That goes to show you, yo, even though it's not the truth,
That's damn
just
true.
because it's just a little bit of, you know, I'm a boost, you know, and
Yeah.
faith, you know, about, you know, yo, like, you know,
Certain
about,
people,
yeah,
yeah.
about certain people, yo, even though it's not the full truth, Esau does not want us to have nothing, man.
Yeah.
Nothing. That's
That's
crazy.
that wickedness, man.
That is unreal, man.
That's that evil spirit in them being like, nah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, and then, you know, like, you got, you know, like a few, you know,
Black Panther, really. I watched it.
yeah.
The Black Panther, all that is
Yeah.
Black Panther.
No, go ahead, bro, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say all that movie is It's Esau leading the scriptures.
Yeah.
You go into the kingdom, the
Yeah.
power they have,
Yeah, you know, and-
technology.
yeah, and
they
saying
have
that
chariots
rule-
flying all over the place.
There you go.
Like,
There you go, man.
you watch that movie?
No, like I haven't seen it yet, you know,
Yeah, check it
but
out.
like I heard of it, right? But you know, just like you know, I saw a few videos of you know, like people on YouTube, you know, people who you know pretty much have a lot of viewers talking shit, bro. You know, pretty much
Yeah.
mocking, you know, about their name, you know, and how you know they have this black,
Wakanda.
you know, yeah, you know, and how they have this black superheroes. Pretty much Edomites, man. Like you can see the hate in their eyes that they hate. That you know,
It's a little bit out.
just like
Yeah.
it's just a fucking movie, man. It's not like it's actually happening.
Yeah,
But they hate that shit, bro.
Because you know what that does? First of all, it's Black Panther. Like, of course, they can bring out Black History Month. I knew they were bringing out Black Panther. Black History
Yeah.
Month. I knew that was happening.
Yeah.
But that's what they don't, because man, at the end of the day, it really this stuff that kind of stuff really strives from Esau's a fear of Jake, because that shit will get Jake pumped.
Exactly, and
You
that's
know?
what they're afraid of.
Exactly, that's what they're afraid of. Because once Jake's get pumped, like the king from Israel, from that had Israel, Pharaoh, he said, let's kill these guys off before they get any more
before
bigger.
they multiply, they
Yeah,
come in
multiply.
and join our enemies and war against us.
Exactly, we'll be finished. You know, the same thing with
They're,
these movies.
they're looking ahead of time.
Yeah, which is smart. That guy was smart. I probably would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
Damn near, I'm trying to kill them all and keep multiplying.
That's right. I'm going back to Romans. Yeah.
What verse we at?
Just 1 second. Romans chapter 9 or 8, verse 23. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruit of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body.
That's right. The adoption to wait for the redemption of our body. What's the redemption of our body? All right, we're going to be redeemed and bought back with new bodies.
You know, get our actual spiritual bodies back. Like the actual body that will never die.
Yeah,
which is like pretty much kind of like, you know, like the first body.
Yeah, first fruits.
Yeah.
It's the same line.
Yeah. You know, the like this,
First fruit body.
you know, this body that we have, you know, we just signed the lease with the Lord, man. You know what I mean? That's it, right? You know, like we're just
It's a
renting
rental,
it.
yeah.
It's just a rental because it's gonna go back to the ground, you know. But the spirit, which is what endures forever, and then our spiritual heavenly body is what's actually, you know, everlasting, man.
That's right.
You know, something that will
body.
never be broken down.
That's right. Bodies like this are like last fruit bodies.
Yeah.
They're not no first fruit bodies.
You know, like he's about some dollar rapper.
Yeah, you know when you're hungry, you find a bowl of fruits, and then all of them gone. It's that one left. It looks good, but it's like a hole on the other side, and there's some bugs been in it. And shit. Dollar ramen.
Yeah, you
Dollar
know,
ramen body.
everything is diluted. You know, it's very real.
Yeah, that's right, man.
You know, everything is fucking cheap for a reason.
Yeah, that's why we're waiting.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we don't care much about this life. The only thing that's important in this life is the truth.
Yeah, that's
and the
it.
brothers,
That's it. Yeah.
you know, that's it. Everything else that's important is made important by this kingdom.
But yeah, and with
You
this
know what I
kingdom,
mean? Like your job,
Yeah.
school, all that shit.
yeah, and what does the scripture says? The scripture says everything is vanity, man.
Exactly.
Vanity upon vanity.
right.
You know, the scripture even says that it's just better for you to, you know, enjoy the good of the life, eat, drink, and that's it.
That's it. That's it. Real shit.
For real, huh? You know?
That's it, man.
Yeah. You know, everything else is vain. Might as well just fill yourself up and just have a good time, man. You know, grab a glass of yayan, you know, some water.
Read to 28.
Come on. Verse 24. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for?
So you Christians have no hope. So you Catholics have no hope.
Yeah.
You Islam, Muslims have no hope.
Because you say that you're already saved, especially you damn Christians.
That's right.
If you say you're already saved, why are you hoping?
That's right. Where's your hope?
Where is your
Yeah,
hope?
where's
You
your
got
hope
no
then?
hope. Good.
I'm gonna start asking Christians now. Where's your hope? They'll say in Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
Yo, I fucking, that shit honestly now pisses me off whenever they say, like whenever they use those terms, it actually gets to my head. I'm like, fuck you, man. Like,
Yeah.
you goddamn devil, man. You know, like that shit is like, pretty much like a code.
Yeah.
To like fucking like actually.
wire you.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know what I mean.
Trigger
Like,
something
they
to be like a devil,
yeah, they use exact same fucking terms every goddamn time.
Yeah.
If you don't accept the Lord Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior, like what the fuck,
It's the whole
man?
same program.
Yeah,
Routine,
you hear it from every fucking Christian, man.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, do you not understand what the fuck they're actually saying?
Yeah,
You know?
that's right.
But man, we can go all day with these Christians, man. You know? Because they're the most prideful people, man, ever.
Yeah, that's right.
And it says,
Because they're filled with our people.
Khan. But if we hope for that we see not, then we with patience wait for it.
That's right, man. It makes sense. If you're hoping for salvation and you don't see it, you don't have it, you're gonna wait upon it, man.
With patience.
If you're of the elect, really, you're gonna wait upon it. You're gonna endure whatever it is that you have to endure it to receive that salvation. And it's not like none of us have never done that. Endured to get something that we really wanted. Same thing is true. But the only difference is, I used to say to myself, now that I'm in the truth, I say to myself, but it's more clear. But it is actually harder. I found it harder personally to stay consistent with the truth than to stay consistent. But to stay consistent with the truth, when I say stay consistent, I don't mean coming out, but I mean actually doing videos and all that kind of stuff, than it is to train for basketball. That's because when you're training, when you're working for something that's empty, it's going to be easy. You know what I mean? It has nothing, there's nothing. Of course, it's going to be easy to get up and play ball and do cool things with your friends, get J's, train and stuff, because all that stuff leads up to nothing. It's weightless.
Because it's fun.
Yeah,
Whereas it's not like we're saying don't do that for the truth, but the truth comes with afflictions. And that's
This is
something
real. This like actually has weight to it. So when you actually want to get it, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
You're not gonna just walk on in and
then,
become good at it.
Skipping and
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
You're actually gonna get hit.
Con.
That's why I used to think about. I'm thinking about it because the type of battles that you have when you're in the truth, for the truth, compared to the battles you have when you're outside of truth, for the world and for yourself, are completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, you have in the world when you're playing ball, you have battles like, oh, I gotta wake up early, or I gotta run out this last sprint.
Yeah.
We're talking about demons in this one.
Yeah.
What do you think is way more weightful,
Yeah.
demons or sprints?
Losing your job, losing your kids and this
Come
and
on.
that. Yeah.
Losing your home.
Yeah. Your woman bugging out, becoming a demon.
Right? The potential of being injured, when you're out here in the open.
Yeah. Yeah. Putting your life on the line.
Yeah, man. The truth holds way more weight and value than anything else on this planet.
And
That's not good. I was just saying that's why no one has been able to break apart this word. Because it's true.
That's right. And the reason why it's like that is so that when you receive the kingdom, you will appreciate it because you know the work that you put in, man.
That's right.
It all makes sense. It's the same thing, like people say, when you get those, like when you receive the Grammy, it's for all the work that you put in, man. Yeah, but this is, the actual crown, man, which Yahushua will put on your forehead, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that myself. Actually having a real golden diamond crown on my
From
head.
Yahushua, man.
Come on, I might faint right there.
Yahushua, take my spirit.
I
wanna go. God. Yeah. And it says, verse 26, likewise the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we would pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groaning which cannot be uttered. Yeah, groaning that cannot be uttered, man.
Real
It's
shit,
like,
man.
It hurts so deep that you can't even
talk
fucking,
about it,
man.
That's true, man. There's some shit like Apostle Bar was talking about. Like sometimes he used to be sitting there and damn near tears when he thinks about all the wicked things that he's done before he came to his truth. That's the same thing, and that makes sense because this wickedness, like you said that you pray for, and you pray for sins that you've committed in the past life, this life, and sins to come.
Yeah.
Man, you can imagine all this type of shit you've done when you didn't know this truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What verse is that?
About to read verse 27. But he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. You know? And then verse 28 goes into a different topic.
Yeah, that was it.
Uh,
Okay, with that, we're going to close. And we're going to say, Kahala Yahweh, Yahushai. And double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect, pushing his word and truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Shalom and death and destruction to the wicked kingdom.
That's right, Shalom.